Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how are you today? In today's video, I want to talk about some last minute things to get, and things that we should be really stocking up on and paying attention to and things like that. Now that all of these really weird executive orders are being put into place and things like that, things that are like really concerning to me, they should be concerning to you and all of us, really. So the first thing, because I've been noticing this, I'm sure all of you have been noticing this, our gas prices are going up and they're going up and they're going up and they're going up. So let's try to focus on keeping our gas tanks full as much as we possibly can. I don't like to let my gas tanks go below half tank. As soon as it gets to half tank, I fill it up. So this way I don't constantly have, to be filling up all the time, you know what I mean? And having that big gas bill. So I never let my gas tanks go below a half a tank. Also, if you have like the red gas can things, let's try and get those if they're not out of stock in your local stores, because they're going to start going out of stock if they aren't already, only because a lot of people who live in hurricane prone areas, we like to buy those in bulk and keep those full of gas. So let's try and keep those topped off as well. All right. The next thing is let's try and keep a lot of our batteries, our phones, our other electronics, like if you have iPads or tablets, even our laptops, let's try and keep all of those batteries charged up and ready to go. This is just something that I always do. It's just like a habit, I guess you could say, you know what I mean? It's just, I always put everything on the charger. Everything's on the charger, and I never let my batteries run down, that type of thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I think it's just another part of my OCD, really. And here's something that I always do, is I always I upkeep all my laundry. I cannot stand a full laundry basket. So let's try and keep up on our laundry, especially now that we have this looming threat of our power grids being unprotected for the next 90 days. So let's always try and keep on top of our laundry and not letting our laundry get overwhelming, especially if you're like me and you're constantly changing out, your linens from your beds, because I change my linens on my beds every week and that type of thing, you know what I mean? So as soon as you change your linens, throw them in the wash, throw them in the dryer, put clean linens on the bed, you know what I mean? And let's try and keep that upkeep as well, especially if you or your spouse or your kids who still live at home or whatever the case may be, if they are a person of uniform. Like Sean, he has to wear a uniform every single day to work. So I always make sure that his uniforms are cleaned and pressed and smelling lemony fresh. No, he prefers Downy. But listen, anyway, let's try and make sure that we don't have laundry laying around and stuff like that, especially with this looming, you know what I mean? Always make sure that your dishes are washed. And I know this is like, oh, she's just a housewife. No, listen. Having, your dishes washed and everything, if the grid were to ever go down, water is going to be a precious commodity. And you want that water for your consumption, not for your washing your dishes and washing your clothes. You know what I mean? So, God, unless you have overstock.com in your garage of paper products, you know what I'm saying? I know you know. So I don't even have to really explain, but I'm just saying, okay? Keep a check. Make sure your inventory is up to date on your non-perishables, on all of your pantries in your house. And you say, all of your pantries? Yeah. Listen, I have separate pantries all over my house. When it comes to my household cleaners, even my laundry supplies, my HBA or health and beauty aids, my non-perishables, my freezer, my working prepper pantry. Okay, my first aid has its own prepper pantry. Everything should be categorized and inventoried. So make sure you have a check and make sure everything is inventoried and make sure you know where every single thing is. So important, okay? Next on the list is make sure you visit your pharmacy. Make sure you are up to date and good on all of your OTCs, even your prescriptions. Get with your doctor. Make sure you can get at least maybe 90 days. See if you can get 6 months. I've even been told that people are getting 1 year supply on their prescriptions. So let's see if we can get up to date on all of that stuff too, okay? Now let's think about our other health related essentials. If you wear contacts instead of glasses, get your solutions, get your feminine hygiene products, okay? Your soap, shampoo, okay, all that kind of stuff. Hang on. And then the next thing I would suggest, is also the soap, shampoo, body wash, toothpaste, baby needs, okay? Vitamins, tissue, toilet paper, that type of thing too, okay? The next thing I'm going to also suggest is go to the bank. Having cash on hand, especially with this gloom and doom looming, type thing, is to always have cash on hand. Because if there's a grid down situation, debit cards won't work, credit cards won't work, even having checks, okay? I don't know anybody that really writes checks out anymore, but that you can't run checks anymore either. So have cash on hand, okay? And keep everything in a safe location. Stock up on candles, lighters, matches, all right, that type of thing. Always remain hydrated. Keep a good supply of water, even if it's bottled water, if you have a rain catchment system, okay? Even if you don't have bottled water and you do have a rain catchment system, always have a way to clean that water, purify that water, okay? Even if it's like a life straw, okay? If you have a Berkey, if you have the water purification tablets, bleach, 8 drops of bleach will clean 1 gallon of water. Replenish your supply of freedom seeds. Assemble a bug out bag for each of your family members and your pets. Don't forget about that. Okay. Now, next, I am going to say purchase your cleaning items. Now, I'm sure you guys already have a prepper pantry full of cleaning supplies. Okay. But even if you don't have a good supply, get a good supply now, okay? If your house is like mine and you have pets, you want to make sure you have cleaning supplies so your house is always clean and sanitized, if not for your safety and your cleanliness, but also for your pets and your children. Collect essential documents. Make sure you have all of your insurance documents together. I always put all of my insurance documents in Ziploc bags and then they're in my safe. If you can take physical pictures and have them developed. I know you're going to be like, what? 80s? What? Yeah. Take physical pictures of everything in your home and outside of your home. If you can record, I would still do this because I did it anyways. Record as well inside of your home and outside of your home just for insurance purposes because you just never know. I do this. I update that every 6 months. before, during, and after, like hurricane season and stuff like that. And I will also submit that to my insurance company, just so they can see, because you know how, like, when you fill out your insurance forms and they want to know, well, how many TVs do you have? You know, what valuables do you have in your house, and that type of thing. I will actually give them video or physical pictures and say, well, this is what I have in my house. So they know that I'm not lying, and because I have a 50-inch flat screen TV in my living room, and I'm not saying, I have an 80-inch flat screen TV with a projector and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm not a liar. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do have all that stuff when I really don't. So yeah, I submit that kind of stuff. But anyway, have physical pictures, video, whatever you need, okay, for collecting essential documents, birth certificates, security cards, get copies of your driver's license, that type of thing, and have all of that, put it in Ziploc bags, okay, to make sure that they don't get ruined by water or whatever the case may be. Fill in your freezer gaps, like in your freezer prepper pantry, okay, when it comes to meats, when it comes to flour, when it comes to sugar, when it comes to even bread. I put bread in my freezer. I put eggs in my freezer. I put milk in my freezer. Whatever you need to fill in your freezer gaps, fill in your freezer gaps, okay? But if we're going to have a grid down situation, let's start canning everything that's in our freezer. I have been lackadaisical. I'm not going to lie. I have been very lackadaisical. But I think it's more because of what I've been going through, you know, depression lately and stuff like that because of my son. I know that's not an excuse, and I know I literally need to light a fire under my tuchus, but you know, I will get there. I really will. Now, here's something else that we should do. We should prepare for fire. Any emergency when it comes to our homes. People have asked me before, especially like during interviews, what is the one thing that would make you bug out? And I would say, my house literally has to be on fire, okay? Make sure you have working fire extinguishers, hooked up water hoses for easy access, buckets full of sand because sand will put out a fire. Fire blankets are a really good idea, you know. Call your local fire station, the fire department, and ask them for fire safety, you know, because I don't know if they're different in different areas, like on what they do for procedure and stuff like that, but call them and find out, okay? Another thing is to prepare for high winds, especially for us down here in hurricane-prone areas. You want to prepare your home for high winds, for when we get hurricanes, for when we get tornadoes, especially if you live in Tornado Alley. Oh my gosh, I've heard those horror stories. A friend of mine used to live in Alabama. She lived through that, what was it, like 10 years ago when all those tornadoes ripped through Alabama. Oh boy, yeah. Check your tools, make sure you have, you know, a good tool set. And I'm not just talking power tools, I'm talking good old-fashioned hand tools, okay? Prepare for your emergency contact list. Make sure you have, you know, not just police and fire, okay, but your local hospital, your primary care physician, whatever doctor you use, have all of their information written down, okay, not just saved in your phone. Have everything written down. Have their name, what doctor, what type of doctor they are. Like, I have my one doctor, she's my primary care physician. This is her address, this is her phone number. Here's my cardiologist, you know, his name, the address of his office, and his phone number, okay? Then I have my OB, and, you know, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. You want to make sure you not just have, you know, 911 and your local hospital, but you want to have every physician that you have. And then, of course, your friends and family, okay? And that's pretty much it, okay? But I just wanted to, you know, give you guys a good list of things to work on. You know, this is things that I work on all the time. you know, that's it. Okay. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Stay positive. Keep prepping. Fearless. Don't just be fearless. Fearless. Bye.